What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday, July 6th. We're going to take a look here, starting this Sunday morning off here. We're going to look at XCN / the United States dollar. This is a daily chart. And this is the Kraken data here on tradingview.com. Ticker symbol XCN USD. XCN USD, US dollar pair. Taking a look here at the charts, this thing has gone on a monster run since back in a sideways market in September, October, November, December, basically kicking off 2025 here to the upside. And we are basically creating a very, very large pennant pattern. The market is slightly under its 200-day moving average right now, going back probably about a week or 2 weeks back in late June. Got it back above the 200. We're fading back below. So that's just something to keep an eye on. You really want to recover that, and you want to get back above the 50-day as well. So the 200-day on my chart is in red. The green is the 50-day. They're just some basic moving averages to have on your chart. And, assets, that trend will be above those over time. Doesn't mean you won't have short-term dips below. You can see here when you had a nice crossover of the 50 and the 200, the price was above, the price pulled back to the 50, found some support. The 200-day was trending higher. You had some ridiculous pump to the upside. Of course, both averages had moved. You pulled all the way back to the 50, all the way back to the 200. You can see the price basically stopped at the 200. Had another nice move, traded sideways, and here we are finding ourselves. It's not recovering as quickly at the 200. So just something to keep an eye on. There's no guarantees this thing will move higher. Again, we might have seen the price top here for this cycle. I don't have a crystal ball, but let's talk about the pennant pattern this is in, and we'll talk about some potential upside price targets if this breakout does lead to an upside move. So basically a very, very large pennant pattern here. This is just a rough drawing. We're not doing exact prices here, but basically we're taking the highs and the lows. And this thing is, as the viewer, I don't recall the name there on the channel, says, we are very close to the apex here of this pennant pattern here. So the apex, roughly goes out to basically July 16th, around that time frame, 10 days out to the future here. So we should expect some kind of break here. There's a ton of energy built up in this chart. So we have wild swings that are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And like when you push a ball under the water, it's fighting you, and you move your hand over and it shoots up, and the energy is not released above the surface. Again, there's no guarantees this thing is going to break out to the upside. The energy can be released to the downside. The momentum is trending higher, so again, it should continue to the upside, but there's no guarantees on that. But the trend is higher, so you would think, hey, trend's higher, we're consolidating, trend should continue higher. Now, if Bitcoin goes on another big run here up to like 116,000, basically, or like 130,000, I don't see why XCN would go lower. But again, just be aware that it's possible that the top is in. Let's say the energy is released to the upside. Where can we look for price targets? Well, I have 2 levels that I would be watching. Right up here, I believe it's the 06. Let's get a Aero. So right up here in the 06, That would be like target number 106, 0.06. So 6 cents would be the first area I'm looking at. And from where we're at right now, which is 1 cent, 06, 6 cents is right up here. About a 300% move to the upside to target number 1. And that would be taking out, of course, our highs over here, which were right around 4 cents. 6 cents, guys. Target number 2 is up here at 12 cents, right in here. 12 cents would be target number 2. So we have a 6 and a 12. Let's check that out on a percentage. We are, let's call it right there, about 700 or so percent to the upside from where we're currently trading. 300 to 700%, guys. Hey, I hope it happens for you guys holding XCN. That would be incredible. It's already gone on an incredible run to the upside all of 2025. So that's what we're looking for here, guys. You really want to pay attention to this. And, you know, the 200-day is going to take a long time to roll over to the downside. So we're hoping this price does continue up, and we'll see. Just be aware of the downside risk. You know, sometimes when everybody sees the same thing on a chart and they're expecting the same outcome, it doesn't always play out. People are caught off guard. Markets like to move in the direction that create the most amount of pain, the max pain area. That's that. 6 cents, 12 cents, about 300 plus percent, 700 plus percent to the upside. Let's see their price. We want to see the price recover above the 200, which is the red line, and the green line, which is the 50-day. Taking out the highs would get us up there to 6, and then our next target, obviously up there above the highs, would be 12 cents for XCN / the United States dollar. And let's see, would that take us above the all-time highs over here? It sure would. Excuse me. Yeah, which is right around like 8 cents. I think the viewer, if you're listening, I think you said this thing's in a very large cup with handle, and I think you're onto something there. Now that I look at this, I didn't look at this earlier. You know, this whole thing is basically in one giant cup with handle. Essentially, I mean, it's not perfect, the handle, and your entry. If you're trading this off a large cup with handle, your entry would be the high over here, which looks like it's the 26th, and it's like, call it 5 cents. So very interesting, and that would take you way, way above our 6 to 12 cent target. So overall, looking pretty bullish. We'll see what the outcome is. Let's go over to Bitcoin real quick. BTC USD, 108,000. Bitcoin, not doing too much this 4th of July weekend. We did break out above that overhead resistance line we have on the chart there. And we are looking again for 116. Maybe we get it this week. And then above that, we have 130,000 next target. And this thing's looking bullish. I hope we get the upside move. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. We're gonna have a new tier, a new members only tier, videos for members only, and we're gonna start tracking some stock buys and cryptocurrency buys, entries, exit stops, trailing stops, etc. So we'll have that up soon. Maybe we'll get to it later today. Have a great Sunday, guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, not financial advice. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.